3 takeaways from No Filter by Sarah Frier, the inside story of Instagram. Instagram, as everyone knows in the universe, is an online photo and video sharing platform launched in October 2010 by Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger, and then bought by Facebook in April 2012, just a year and a half later. Most people probably don't know the story behind it, however. For those who are curious, it was well documented, might I add, in a book called No Filter, written by Bloomberg chief big tech topic editor Sarah Frier. I don't know the technical name of her position, but I think it's a pretty cool one. It's kind of long. It still sounds pretty official, so let's just leave it at that. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam, and I want to make self-growth normal, because people shouldn't have to look this information up. It should just be mainstream knowledge. If you agree, please make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I had the chance to review this book. I'm going to drop a link to my review in the description, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 most valuable insights that I gained from it. This is probably going to be one of the shortest videos I've dropped in maybe a couple years. Number 1, to win over large investors. The co-founders had a brainstorming session that served as the basis for their entire leadership philosophy. First, ask what problem you're trying to solve, and then figure out how to solve it in the simplest way possible. They made a list of the top 3 things that people liked about Instagram, or at the time it was called Bourbon. They named it after the drink. If you think about it, all these platforms had a silly name for their original version. But then they figured out the answers to those problems by breaking them down. How can we make it more legit and less embarrassing to take photos of yourself and share them online? Is there a way that we can make it so that you can just share it from the app directly onto Twitter and onto Facebook and stuff like that? So they made it more frictionless. But they found the simplest ways to do that, and that contributed a lot to their growth. Number 2, mega success, more often than many self-made dreamers may think, has a lot to do with mega connections. If Kevin Systrom never met Jack Dorsey, the Twitter CEO, and of course early primary investor of Instagram, then Systrom and Krieger probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere near where they are now so quickly. Even at a fraction of the speed. Systrom didn't just meet Dorsey either. They weren't just friends from across the street. He worked for Twitter, actually, before starting Bourbon. Bourbon, and later I guess Instagram, basically built a network off the same primary investors and infrastructure as Twitter. But this is an excellent and very modern example, although it happened 8-9 years ago, maybe 10, 11, of Malcolm Gladwell's basis in his book Outliers, where he says that, luck has more to do with success than most of us think. Number 3, advertising and art cannot spread ideas individually. You have to merge them together. Information is just way too accessible nowadays for you to spread artistic ideas without advertising them. And if you're just advertising, it's going to be the same advertising as everyone else's if there's no art involved. Cast members, musicians, and other entertainers began to realize as the app grew that inevitably, with all these screens that belted the surface of the first world, and I guess second and third now, is there a second world? I never hear about second world countries. Maybe they don't have the same problems that first world countries laughably have and third world countries don't laughably have, but definitely have. But all those entertainers began to realize as the app grew that with all of these devices, there will come a day that your value is essentially based on your ability to sell the product that you're in or a part of. But as a star, something that is really good about this is that you can actually take power back from the paparazzi and control your own narrative. In other words, now you can more directly speak to just your audience. But what do you guys think? Have you checked out this book? Do you want to check out this book? I dropped a link of my review in the description where I go way more in depth with just, of course, the history and the summary. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this video. You can tell me that it sucked. Also, make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you haven't already, because people watch this far into my videos and they don't subscribe, and I don't know why that is, but if you have subscribed and you want to turn it up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to get a notification whenever I drop new videos, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.